Okay, so as a millionaire coach, I wanted to talk about something that all of us want to achieve at some point in our coaching businesses. And that is having a steady stream of high quality leads begging you to give you their money. And I remember when I started coaching, I imagined that I would be some slick business guy with a cool hairstyle chilling in a mansion right next to the beach in California. Now, in reality, being a successful coach is not at all about living in a mansion and playing golf all day. Instead, it's more about living in a small apartment with 7 other people as roommates while you're building your business and driving a 20-year-old lemon car to save money. And when you do have some success, it's sitting on your computer making Loom videos at 10 p.m. on a Saturday for your clients. And I say this as someone who started off with 0 clients. And I had to work my way up from scratch to now making over $1 million a year with my coaching business. And all of that without rich parents or any crazy luck. And the truth is, most people don't understand how to start a coaching business the right way. And this ends up costing them years of their life, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and countless hours of stress banging their heads against the wall. So let's go ahead and break down and explain some of these strategies that you can duplicate to go from 0 to hero as a coach. Or if you've already started as a coach, let's talk about some of the things that you might have messed up on that are holding you back. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know everything you need to know about starting an online coaching business from scratch and growing it as fast as possible in a sustainable way. So if you appreciate me making this content, go ahead and pound that like button like it owes you money, because soon, thanks to these tips, someone might actually owe you money. And let's go ahead and jump in. And the first thing you want to do is build your personal brand from day one. And why exactly do you want to do this? Well, first of all, you want to do what's known as building in public. So while you are figuring all these things out that coaches need to figure out, like what's their niche? What's their ideal client avatar? What problems do the clients have? What is their mechanism for solving the client's problems? What should they focus on in terms of making content or marketing, etc.? While you're figuring all of this out, what you can do is you can just build in public. And this is a great way of getting people interested in what you're doing. So you can either position yourself as an expert and just teach people how to solve the problems that you already solved, or you can position yourself as a learner and share what you're learning on your journey of becoming an expert, okay? And so that's kind of the spectrum. So let's just say a learner is somewhere between a 1 and a 3 on a scale from 1 to 10, and an expert is somewhere between a 7 out of 10. You can position yourself as a learner, and as a 3, for instance, you can teach people. You can teach a 1 how to get to a level 3. And in many cases, you're actually better at doing that than an expert. And if you think about it, this makes complete sense. I would probably learn more from a really good college basketball player or an amateur basketball player versus learning from LeBron James, because LeBron James is so much better than me. He's so far ahead of me that I don't think I could learn that much from him. It would just be overkill. Whereas if I learn from someone, you know, let's say I'm a 3 out of 10, if I learn from like a 6 out of 10, then I'm probably gonna learn a lot more. With that being said, even if you are a 7 out of 10, you can still teach a 1 out of 10. You just have to realize what level they're at, right? And there's a lot of people that want to learn from the best no matter what. But a lot of the time, a 7 out of 10 is going to attract someone like a 3 out of 10. Right? And you're going to get them from a 3 to a 7. But either way, it doesn't matter whether you're an expert, a learner, somewhere in between would be what I like to call an enthusiast, someone who's kind of pretty good but not quite at the expert level. It doesn't really matter. What you want to do is build your personal brand from day one and build in public. Now, the easiest way to do this is to post videos on YouTube and make them raw, authentic videos. So not videos that you put a ton of time and effort into them, just straight up raw, authentic videos where you just solve the problems that your clients have and just talk about problems that you've solved in the past and how you were able to solve them. And then you can natively re-upload these videos that you post on YouTube to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and even cut them up and put them on IG/TikTok. Okay, so you basically just syndicate the content on all the other platforms, right? So Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, you can even cut them up, put them on Instagram, TikTok, and the whole time you are building in public, and I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get a ton of clients by doing this. Now, the second thing that you wanna do is coach your first few clients for free or cheap. The reason you want to do this is because it's so much easier to get clients when you have case studies. But this is a catch-22 situation because you need clients to get case studies and you need case studies to get clients. So it's like, which one came first, the chicken or the egg, right? It's a catch-22 situation. So how do you overcome that? You simply just give discount to your first few clients, or you do it for free. Now, the only reason why I say give a discount and still charge them is in many cases, if you do something for free, if you don't really know the person that well, they actually just won't take any action and therefore they won't get any results. So in some cases, it's still good for them to have some skin in the game by at least paying a few $100s. One thing that I saw Alex Hormozi do, because he understands this concept, if you don't pay attention, right? This is a very well-known concept. One thing he did is he charged people $500, but when they get results, he paid them back. Okay, so it was kind of even more of a motivator for them to get results. So he was doing some kind of fitness program, and he charged them $500, but when they got results, he actually just gave them the money back. So if they showed up to every single session and he would train them, then he would literally just give them the money back. So he would pay them out of the money that he got paid to go to the sessions. So I think it was something like 10 sessions, and every single session they showed up to, he'd pay them $50. And so if they showed up to all 10 sessions, they got all of their money back, right? So you could do something like that. You could get, fancy with it if you want, like Alex Hormozi did, or you can just, give a discount or just do it for free. Just realize if you do it for free, a lot of the time people are not going to take action. It is just, unfortunately, human nature to not take action. Now, at the same time, what you can do, number 3, is you can start outreaching to people. Now you can use your network. So you can use Facebook, for instance. You just like your own personal Facebook profile. You can reach out to family and friends. Basically tell them, hey, I'm doing this new type of coaching. If you know anybody who wants to, let's say, get an IT job, because you're teaching people how to get IT jobs. If you know anyone who's in that boat, please reach out to them and have them contact me. I can even give you a referral fee, so family and friends, that kind of thing. Another thing you can do is forums and groups. So you can start becoming active in different forums and groups, and then reach out to those people and basically say like, hey, I can help you with this, I can help you with that. You can, private message them, etc. In some cases, the forums and groups may even let you advertise on the forum or group itself. And in some cases, you might be able to advertise your YouTube channel or your Facebook or your Instagram, etc. on the forum. And then they go to your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your Facebook in order to consume more content because you're making really good content and you're giving really good advice on the forum. And then that can also help to grow your accounts and get new clients. Right, so start outreaching to people in your network, families and friends. Forums and groups are a really good place as well when you're first getting started, just to get that initial momentum. When it comes to the content, make content for the past version of yourself. I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but literally just make content for the past version of yourself. This is like a cheat code. This is something where the reason why this is so freaking amazing is because you're basically telling a story, because you said like, okay, in the past I had this problem, so it's a story, and then you're relating to the person, right? So stories are incredibly powerful, and they just, basically when you tell a story, it's just seared into someone's brain. You essentially have real estate in your brain every single time you tell a story. So as an example, when I first started on YouTube, what I did is I just made a list of all the things that I had problems with, like kind of like all the lemons that life had gave me. And then I just figured out which ones I'd been able to solve. And then I just started making videos about them. So just as an example, I got fairly good at grant writing because I worked for a 501c3 nonprofit. I also got fairly good at budgeting and being frugal in general. I also got fairly good at investing when you don't have much money, just kind of like beginner investing stuff. So I was kind of like a 3 out of 10 when it came to investing. I also was really good when it came to college degrees because I'd just gone through that whole system, the college meat grinder system in the United States. I'd also gotten fairly good at careers, like picking your career, getting a job, etc. And so I started making videos on all of these different topics. And the ones that really took off were the college/college degree videos. So that is what I basically doubled down on. I started making lots of videos on college/college degrees, and that is what initially grew my channel, right? And that's how I was initially able to get clients and make money, etc. And then of course I pivoted to more specific things like remote jobs. Later on, I kind of pivoted to remote jobs. Also alternative education. I started making videos on alternative education, like things where you can get jobs without having to go to college. And yeah, this is exactly what I did. And because of the fact that I just told you guys that story, it's going to stick in your head, right? So this is a little bit meta. I'm kind of, doing it while I tell you how it works. But stories are so incredibly powerful, and you're probably always going to remember that story when you think about me or when you think about any topic that is related to what I just told you, right? And so when you just make content for the past version of yourself and you just talk about things that you struggled with in the past, other people just relate to it. It becomes way more relatable, and it just makes your content really sticky. And you kind of tell what's known as the hero's journey, right? When you make content about things that you solved in the past, you have this thing called the hero's journey, and it just makes you way more relatable, and it makes people know, like, and trust you. Okay, and that is super, super important that they know, like, and trust you. All right, so number 5 is provide value and expect nothing in return for it. So this is another cheat code. This is more of a mindset to have, but it's just one of those mindsets it's like a cheat code. It just works so well. There's been so many examples in my life where I've done this and it's worked incredibly well. A lot of people will talk about providing value. Obviously, your content should provide value, but what they don't talk about is also expecting nothing in return. Because when you provide value, but then you expect something in return, people get an icky feeling, right? It's just an icky feeling like, oh, you gave me something, but now you're staring at me with puppy dog eyes, expecting me to do something back for you. And it's just an icky feeling because it just makes it seem very disingenuous. However, when you provide value and expect nothing in return, it builds goodwill faster than anything else. And this is why Alex Hormozi, since I keep on using him as an example, Alex Hormozi used to say, I have nothing to sell you, right? And that was absolutely not true. Because if you are a 7-figure business owner who's trying to get to 8 figures, he absolutely does have something to sell you. In fact, he wants to invest in your business and take your equity, right? So he absolutely did have something to sell you if you were the right type of person. But because of the fact that he said, I have nothing to sell you, he built goodwill, and goodwill compounds significantly faster than money. And of course, now he, definitely does have something to sell you. He's selling you school. He's selling, if you're a 7-figure, he's going to sell you into how he can help you become an 8-figure entrepreneur, et cetera, because he's opened up like a finance company. And that's totally fine. It was an interesting, cool marketing strategy, but he definitely did have something to sell you if you were the right type of person. But a lot of people believe that he was just doing it out of the kindness of his heart. And to be fair to him, if you're 99% of entrepreneurs out there, at that time, he actually didn't have anything to sell you, right? So it actually was a really smart move that he made, and he literally catapulted up to the top just by simply understanding that goodwill compounds significantly faster than money, and if you provide value and expect nothing in return, then you are going to get a significant amount of goodwill, right? And so that's what you want to do with your clients as well. Provide value and expect absolutely nothing in return. So next, let's talk about number 6, which is don't sell information, sell a transformation. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? First of all, you want to sell high ticket, right? So you want to be selling at least 2.5K packages. If you're selling monthly, at least like 1.5K per month. And if you're selling one-off packages, like coaching, for instance, at least 2.5K. And honestly, that's on the low end, right? So you want to be selling high ticket. Why? Because it gets results. Low ticket courses, some kind of like $500 or even $997 course, even if you have the best information in the world, it doesn't get results. In fact, anybody who sells this stuff will tell you, usually only about 3% of people even finish the course. Like you can literally look in your analytics and they'll see that only about 3% of people even finish the course. So maybe if it's a really good one, it might be like 10%, right? If it's a really good course, it's like really well done, maybe 10% of people finish it, okay? But that means like out of those 10% or out of those 3%, how many people actually got results? A very tiny amount of people. And this is why courses on their own don't get results, because people are not designed to just consume like 50 hours of courses without any interaction with another human being. Just looking at their computer without interacting with another human being. That is not how people are designed. So instead of selling information, you want to sell a transformation, because all the information is already out there. I mean, think about personal trainers, right? Think about personal trainers, dietitians, etc. All the information is out there on Google. Okay, so what would, if they were just selling information, what would their value be? Their value would be nothing. What they sell is a transformation. What does this involve? It involves organizing information. Okay, that's really important. That's part of it. Organizing information is part of it. Setting proper expectations. So one thing you can do to set proper expectations is the 10, 80, 10 rule. And this is basically where you tell them what your top 10% of clients typically do, what their behaviors are and what their outcome is, what the middle 80% of clients, what their behaviors are and what their outcome is, and then what the bottom 10% of client, what their behaviors are and what their outcomes are, right? So that's how you set proper expectations. So if you have these behaviors, you're likely going to be a top 10% client. If you have these behaviors, you're likely going to be a middle 80% client. And if you have these behaviors, you're likely going to be a bottom 10% client, okay? So setting proper expectations is a great way to motivate them to actually do better. And then make the transformation as easy as possible. So this involves things like templates, automations, etc. So just as an example, with my clients with YouTube, we have a bunch of different examples of thumbnails that they can literally use and just replace my face with their face on the thumbnail. Like thumbnails that we know performed incredibly well, and they can literally just take my thumbnail, replace their face on the thumbnail, and boom, like it's good to go. So it's like a template, it saves them a ton of time, right? So any little thing that you think you can do that involves this, to any little possible thing that you can do to save your client a little bit of time, effort, or money, go ahead and do it. Make the transformation as easy as possible. So one thing that this involves is, you know, telling them what to do, but even more importantly, telling them what not to do, because most people waste lots of time doing things that just don't matter, right? So don't waste your client's time. Show them what's possible. This kind of involves motivating them, right? Show them that it's possible for you, it's possible for a bunch of your other clients, and this motivates them to believe that they can do it, because belief is incredibly powerful. Like if they don't believe they can do it, they are probably not going to get results. But if they do believe they can do it, they're going to get results more often than not. So absolutely, without a doubt, your clients need to believe that they can get results, because the belief is half the battle. If they can believe that they can get results, that's half the battle. And the other half is just simply taking action, right? Get them around like-minded people, okay? So human beings are not meant to be on their own. Human beings are social animals. We are all social animals. And when you're around other people that are trying to do the same thing as you're trying to do, you're going to be much more likely to get results. When you're around other people that are doing better than you at the same type of thing, you're also going to get much better results. So we want our clients to be around other people that are doing the same thing and people that are better than them, and also coaches, right? So an example of this is, like, let's say you want to get better at basketball. If you think you're going to get better at basketball just playing by yourself against no one else, just shooting in a park, you're probably not going to get better very fast, right? It's going to take you like a ridiculously long amount of time to get good. But if you're just simply playing with other people, you're going to get better significantly faster. And then if you're playing with other people that are better than you, you're going to get better even faster. And then if you're playing with other people that are at your level and also better than you, and you have coaching on top of it, That is what is going to make you get really good at the thing incredibly quickly. And that is the last component, which is coaching, right? Coaching, and this involves feedback, talking about blind spots, holding them accountable, etc. Right? So this is the formula for actually getting someone to transform. You're selling a transformation. You're not just giving them information. All right? And then the other thing you want to do is sell before you create. So you might, have gotten into coaching and you think you know exactly what your clients want, but the truth is most of the time you don't. And so what you want to do is sell your program before you create it. So let me give you a little story. There was once a time where I was creating my first ever coaching program. And this program was College 101. And I was teaching people how to get the most out of college with the least amount of time, effort, and money. And I knew that I could save people $50K plus with this program, right? I knew that I could save people a ton of money with this program. I absolutely knew with 100% certainty I could save people just tons of money. But for some reason, guys, I didn't listen to what everyone was telling me to do. And I created the program first before I sold it. And this was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my entrepreneurial career because it didn't sell well. And I spent 3 months of grinding hard work creating the program, and then it didn't sell well. And if I would have just pre-sold the program before I created it and then just presented it weekly to the people, right? Just weekly present them with the new section, then the next week another section, and then the next week another section after that. If I would have just done that, I would have known that it didn't sell. And then if 2 people bought, I would just refund them, give them all their money back, and just be like, sorry, the program's not going to go on, right? But I spent 3 months. In fact, I think it was more than, it was like 3.5 months grinding hard work creating the program that didn't sell well. Now, I learned my lesson when I created my second program because I created my second program where I was helping people get jobs. Okay, so this was my second program. And it was basically helping people get jobs. Now, when I did this program, I did not create it before I sold it. I sold before I created it. And what ended up happening is I realized that every single person, almost every single person that joined wanted a specific type of job, which was a remote job. And so as I was creating the program, I realized that every single person wanted to get a remote job. And so I created the program around getting a remote job. So I learned while I was creating, right? And then this made the program 10 times better. Because if I would have created it before I sold it, I would have just done general jobs. But because of the fact that it was remote jobs, there's certain things you can apply for that make it much easier. Okay? And then I did the same exact thing with my third program, which was teaching people how to do YouTube, right? And it was a really good thing I did it because a lot of people were struggling with things I didn't expect them to struggle with. And this made it 10 times better. The fact that I sold before I created, and then I basically got paid to create the program and do market research. And the people were more than happy because I spent a ton of time with them, right? I spent a ton of time and I made sure that I got them results. So the people were very, very happy with this as well, right? So sell before you create. I'm telling you guys, this is one of the biggest mistakes. Don't make this mistake. Always sell before you create. And number 8 is always get your clients good results. Make sure that you get them good results, especially when you first begin. Because when you're first beginning, you know that not everything is going to be perfect, and so you're going to have to spend extra time with them. And clients really appreciate it when you just simply spend a little bit of extra time with them. That's what they appreciate when you tailor the program to them a little bit, right? Now, as you try to scale things, of course, you can kind of figure out, okay, like this is my ideal client. And that's something you figure out along the way. It's like, okay, what clients do I want to work with? Who's my ideal client? And then once you figure that out, of course, you can scale it and you can just design it for that one person. But before you do that, just make sure you always get your clients great results. And the best way to do this is just by tender love and care, right? Spending time with them and tailoring the experience to them, which you can do when you only have a few clients, right? Of course. And you just make sure you get them results, and then you're going to have more testimonials, more case studies, and then you're going to make more money, right? And that's the next thing, is get testimonials and social proof, okay? Get testimonials, case studies, and social proof. Basically, be able to prove that what you're doing actually works, right? And the first way to be able to do that is by just solving problems you already solved. But even better than that is getting testimonials, doing case studies, or doing case studies on your students, but also you can do case studies on other people that are successful. Okay, so that's something you can do if you don't quite have students yet. You can do case studies on other people that are already successful in your specific niche. And then number 10, just go ahead and scale up, right? This is where you start scaling up. This is one thing you do, is you pick your exact niche, narrow it down, right? Pick your exact ICP, which is ideal client profile, or also known as client avatar, right? Figure out exactly who you want as a client. And you just get more specific. Get more specific, more niche. Figure out the exact problem you're solving. Like, what's the main problem you're solving? Figure out the outcome that people want, and just that's how you can streamline. You can streamline when you have this, right? And there's two different types of clients you're going to have depending on your offer. You've got homogeneous clients, and this is where everyone starts at the same starting spot and wants the same outcome. That's pretty rare, but you do have that. An example of this one would be helping people get a very specific cybersecurity job. Or one of my clients helps accountants get into a position called financial controller. So that would be an example of homogeneous clients. Very easy to scale this type of coaching program. Then you've got non-homogeneous clients. This is where, some people start off as total beginners, some people start off as intermediates, some people start off as experts, and they just want a little bit of an extra push. And yeah, this is a much harder. It's much harder, but this is also more common, right? It's more common, and you have to hire experts to help with these clients, because the experts have to be able to recognize where the client is at and where they want to go, right? So a lot of the time you'll have beginners that want to get to an intermediate level. You'll have intermediates that want to get to an expert level, and experts who want to get to like a master level, right? Where you are, okay? So non-homogeneous clients is much more common. Of course, this is where kind of I'm at with my business. Some people who want to grow on YouTube are total beginners. So I have some people that want to grow on YouTube that have worked with me that are already making like over 500K per month, and they're trying to get to $1 million a month, right? So I have all kinds of different people. Some people are huge on YouTube already, and they're trying to monetize their YouTube channel. Some people haven't even started on YouTube yet, right? So that's non-homogeneous clients, and you have to hire experts to help you with these clients, which is why I have hired people who are like already successful YouTubers and already successful business owners, which is very expensive, but I want to give my clients the best possible outcomes, right? And so that's what you do, guys. This is how you basically start and grow a profitable coaching business. And these are the exact steps that you take in order to get there. And this is exactly how you can make it happen. Now, if you want to figure out how to create content and how to get a ton of clients from content, check out my free resources down in the description in the pinned comment below, and also sign up for a call.